Hey guys, welcome to another stream here. Just give me a quick second to get everything set up. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let's see what's happening in the market. Feel free to post on the comments like always if you guys want me to take a look at any stocks. But like I said, give me one quick second, guys. Let me just make sure everything is set up. Make sure microphone is good. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let's see. All right, so we have, let me just open everything up. What's going on, Gordon? How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. I am a bit late today. Was doing some other stuff really quick. Let me just post on Discord that I am on. Live on right now. And let's see what's happening in the market. So make sure I have everything I need closed. That can be closed too. I think this should also be closed. What's going on, Adam? How's it going? Hope everybody had a great weekend today, this weekend. But let's see, 11 people. All right, let's start off. Let me change screens now. All right, so let's take a quick look at what's happening in the market right now. What's going on, Danny? Danny, good morning, guys. So we can see Dow is down about 0.11% right now. We have NASDAQ up 0.7%, so I'm pretty sure some of my growth stocks are going to be doing pretty good today. The S&P 500, we have S&P is up 0.35. Let's take a quick look at the map, see what's really moving right now. What's going on, David Becker? Good morning, Mom. My mom is on real quick. What's going on, Juno? Hello. So we can see, right, Microsoft right now is up about 1%. We have Apple up 1.9%. We hit Semiconductors actually doing pretty good. What's going on, Cal? How's it going? Just took profits. Danny, you just took profits on Palantir. Didn't want to risk it not reaching that top resistance points. We'll also take a quick look at Palantir. Whoa, Mom. Yeah, David, what's going on, Becker? So we can see, I mean, NVIDIA, wow, NVIDIA's hitting 230 right now. My portfolio is definitely loving that. AMD is also up a few percentage. We can see the semiconductor industry is up pretty good right now. Google and Facebook are also up right now. We have Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot. Things that are red right now, banks are down. Capital banks are, financial sector is down right now. But tech market is good. What's going on, Akiar? What's up, brother? How's it going? So let's take a quick look at my overall portfolio first. Let's go to TradingView. I'm kind of curious with this update right now how my account is doing. Are you guys on the green today? Google with the Affirm news. I thought it was Amazon with the Affirm news. What happened with Google? Are you gonna join the Affirm train? I know there was talks of Amazon. Now there's also talks of Google. With Affirm. Let me take a quick look at that. I'm not gonna jump in that train. I'm pretty sure the stock price, if it has gone up a nice amount. But let me see Affirm stock. Let's see. Sorry, you are right. Duh. And let me just zoom in. This week is busy on quite a lot of companies' earnings. We have CrowdStrike. Oh, Gordon, for sure. Yeah, we have CrowdStrike. We have Zoom. We have Stone. We have DocuSign. So a lot of software companies are reporting earnings today, this week, which are pretty interesting. We'll also take a look at. So stocks making the biggest move. Affirm stock explodes more than 40% after Amazon's deal. That is insane. I definitely think, is it going to be for all their products? How does this partnership work? Is it going to be for all the products? If it's for all the products, that's really big news, right? Because what do we see? That Peloton was a huge driver for their revenue. So if Amazon becomes a player, that can become a huge portion of this revenue. So Affirm rocketed 41.2% pre-market trading after the digital payment specialist announced a partnership with Amazon.com that will allow Amazon customers to pay over time for purchases of $50 or more. That's actually pretty insane, right? Because if people were so bullish on this company just because it had that Peloton revenue segment, and that was a good portion of the segment, I can't imagine how much revenue would come from this Amazon news, from this Amazon partnership. So let's take a quick look. I want to see the overall stock price, Affirm stock price right now. So stock price is up 39.68%. Pretty impressive, right? I mean, I do believe they are going to make pretty good revenues. For me, the buy now, pay later service it's not, I mean, I think I've done a few videos on Affirm when they took the huge hit. earlier in their last earnings, and I saw they're a little bit more than just the buy now, pay later service. But overall, I don't think it's a service I would want to get into right now. So best of luck to anybody holding right now. And this is actually pretty insane. With this Amazon news, this is how crazy stock prices were earlier on in the first half of 2021. Even with this big spike up, the stock is still down about, how much was that? It's still down a big amount. So even from its all-time highs, that spike is still down about 32%. So it just shows how crazy valuations were for some of these companies in early February, in early 2021. So let's see, what else do we have? Kendall, do you like Pubmatic? Pubmatic is one I don't follow too much. I know it's in the ad tech market, but I haven't. It's not one I follow. So here's stock. I definitely know the stock. The Turtle Beach headsets. I used to use their headsets when I used to game a little bit more for consoles and for PC, but I don't really use them now. What is the recent news? Turtle Beach gains after report of the company getting interest in sales process. So they're looking to go private or something, Gordon, or some other company is looking to buy them. This is a super small company, $466 million in market cap. The stock price is up 2.72%, and it is up, I want to say, 7.26 since Thursday, right? I wonder if that's when the news came out. So Turtle Beach, super small company in the overall, this is the gaming hardware, and they have interest that someone is going to be purchasing them. Danny, hope SoFi recovers. I like the premise of the stock, honestly. Danny, let's take actually, let me quick look at charts before. So C Limited is killing it. C Limited is up 4% today. I'm happy. I'm super, super excited about this. Let me just see full charts. Let me just, sorry. So let me keep, so could you look at what's going on, Juno? Look at Duolingo real quick. We'll take a quick look at that. Let me just take a quick look at what's happening in the market. Bill Main, I wish I had YOLO SE Leap calls. Yeah, I mean, C Limited is up 4%. This one has been a monster. I wish I have YOLO. Yep, Cockpock. What do you think of apps current valuation? So I do like apps right now in forms of where they're at the stock price. This is one, and this is what we're seeing in a lot of these, I want to say, ad tech markets, like apps like Magnite. They've recently done a lot of acquisitions, and I want to say one of the biggest risk, not necessarily a bearish thing, but one of the biggest risks right now is they've spent a lot of money on acquisitions. We're probably going to see a lot of dilutions or offerings on apps or Magnite right now. And if these acquisitions don't really help out the company, even though it does look like they are, it could be bad things for the company, but I do like it in the forms the price is at right now. It is in my portfolio, and at these levels, I wouldn't mind adding on to for more long-term goals, right? Fuck. And Bill, my Amazon Leaps call finally break evens. Congratulations, Bill Main. Hope those calls continue to provide great returns for you. But we can see right now we have C Limited, a tier 1 stock for me, is up 3.96%. I want to see my other tier 1s. Unity is up 2.4%. This one has been a beast too, so I'm super excited. Let's see what else do we have. Do we have any of my other tier 1s here? We have NVIDIA is almost at 230, but it's up 0.1%. AMD is another one right there, up 0.95%. I really want to know what's happening in the semiconductor industry right now. My only tier 1 company that's down right now is Sorens. Sorens is down, it's down about 0.44%, but let's hope that changes around time. So let's see. Let me take a quick look at CNBC, continue to see what's kind of affecting the market. So Moderna fell 2.7% in pre-market after 1 million more COVID vaccine doses were put from circulations in Japan on contamination concerns. So I'm guessing if this is something that's kind of causing the overall health market to go down right now. Globalstar, so Globalstar, the satellite service provider, soared 41.3%, following a report in Apple Insider that the iPhone 13 will have the ability to utilize satellite communications. That's kind of interesting, interesting for sure, for that stock price to go up 41.3%. What else do we have? Anything else interested here? Generac, no, nothing too. Globalstar is crazy today, for sure. I mean, that's insane. I don't know too much about the satellite market, Angus, but do they get charged revenue per usage? So if more Apple iPhones are gonna be using it, it's gonna increase the overall revenue. Like, how does that work? So I'm not too familiar with the satellite service provider market. So definitely pretty interesting, but that is a nice increase, 41.3% right now. Anything else happen? Let's take a quick look at StockTwits right now, see what's kind of going on there. So I mean, right now, what do we have? ATER, Mohawk Group is up 21.3%. Affirm on that news from Amazon is up 41.81%. That one's pretty interesting for sure. I don't know. I would have expected actually the stock price to go higher on that news. It doesn't seem like anything else is too insane at the market right now. But let's see, anybody? What else do we have? So we took a look at Finviz. Let's take a look at Earnings Whisper. What are some of the important stocks we have earnings this week? Let's see. So this week we have Zoom today. So today it's actually going to be a pretty interesting day. Zoom after close. We have StoneCo, which is a fintech in Latin America, which is definitely pretty interesting. I know other people like Pago Safe, I think, is the other one in Latin America that a lot of people like. Tomorrow we have CrowdStrike. I definitely am interested in that earnings. Maybe some of you guys might be into Futu. Gordon, Viva, is that one reporting earnings soon? On Wednesday, I have some interesting ones. C3 AI, we have Okta. Oh, we have Viva on Wednesday. I'm not too familiar with Viva. So let's see. Chewy is also on Wednesday after close. Maybe for some of you dividend players, is that that's Campbell Soup? Yeah, Campbell Soup. For some reason, that looked like Coca-Cola for a second in forms of how the logo looked. And Thursday we have DocuSign, we have Broadcom, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Mungo, PagerDuty, a lot of interesting ones for sure on Thursday. So this week, I think this is probably the last week of some real strong earnings. But it's still some interesting companies for sure. So let's see. How is Tencent looking? Let's look at, I think China is from stock price going down today. It seems like my biggest downs are not Chinese. Is Tencent up today? I don't see it. Let's see. Tencent. How is Tencent doing today? Tencent. So Tencent is down about 2.4% right now. I mean, this is overall exposure right now in the Chinese market has definitely been pretty scary. But at the same time, right, limit exposure, always having some form of risk tolerance and position sizing, I think, is super important when investing in any type of position. So for me, I am in some of these markets, but very limited to my overall exposure. So they don't really drag the portfolio down too much. So let's see, David, Bill Main, Jose just bought an Oculus Quest 2. It's pretty awesome, right? I mean, I remember the first VR I put on, which was for the PS4 a few years ago, and it gave me goosebumps. It's insane how strong that technology is and how immersive you can kind of get into it. Have you bought any VR stocks? I want to say the closest thing for me to VR stocks, in my opinion, Bill Main, would probably be Unity, just because of the overall modeling system. Another one would actually be, let's see, Facebook. Facebook would also be a good player there, so I do own Facebook. And then your typical AMD and NVIDIA. I think those are my biggest kind of plays in the VR market. Excuse me, guys, let me take a quick drink that I can remember. I think my Facebook is going to be a pretty Unity is in VR. I don't want to say it's a true VR play. Most of the games that are going to be created in VR will have some form of Unity platform being used to make that game. So that's where it is, right, Juno? So because it is a gaming platform creator, I do believe a good portion of VR games actually right now are probably also made through Unity. Yeah, okay, Billman, Unity does have a good VR and AR community as well. I do believe a lot of the AR ads kind of are made through Unity to some extent. Thanks for the explanation. No for what's going on, Pilot, man. Appreciate the comments you dropped. You definitely share some pretty good information my way. So, Pilot, appreciate that and hope you're having a good day. So let's see what else. So, Billman, what are some of your top VR plays right now, if I may ask? I think Facebook and Unity are probably Facebook, Unity, AMD, and NVIDIA are my biggest ways that I'm playing the VR market. And Facebook is one that if it does take a nice drop, I wouldn't mind getting adding more exposure into Facebook for sure. So let's take a quick look. Facebook is my tier one. So Facebook was a tier one for me in 2020. For 2021, I don't know why I didn't make it there. But if it ever falls down pretty big, I can definitely see it becoming a tier one stock for me. Their marketplace is killing it. Got some skin in. Nice, Danny. So I think I have it right here. So I was kind of making a list of stocks that I would definitely like to add if we see some crazy pullback. So some of my top ones that I would like to add if we see some crazy pullbacks outside of my typical tier one. So these are my tier ones, right? And let me zoom in for you guys, maybe so you guys can see better. So obviously my typical tier ones, NVIDIA, Serenity, Unity, and AMD, my top 5 biggest positions. But if we ever see any big pull downs, these are the ones I really would like to add to: Facebook, Google, Shopify, Mercado Libre, CrowdStrike, and DraftKings. Those are the ones that are going to be first on my list outside of my tier ones. Then out of the maybe pile, I might be Square, Twilio, Roku, Spotify, Tencent, and Paysafe. So this is my big list right now. But these are probably the ones I would want to add to first if we see some crazy pullback. Not sure if any of you guys would care about that information, but just wanted to share. So Pilot, could you look at Cohu? Another way to play Semiconductor. Seems undervalued, but the revenue expected to drop next year. So Pilot, that one is definitely pretty interesting. I keep hearing about it. Let's take a quick look at Cohu. So Cohu's stock price. First, let me just take a quick look at the stock price, and then let's see what kind of movements they're doing. So Bill Main, I do recommend leap calls on all your tier one if market pulls back. Bill, I definitely that's definitely a good suggestion, I would say, especially on the market pullback. Leap calls on tier one stocks wouldn't be a bad play, right? Definitely wouldn't use all my money at all. Does Paysafe, does Paysafe seem undervalued to you? So I definitely think so. I mean, Paysafe right now, I think, is in a whole different. The more I read into it, the more I like it. I like how they are just kind of moving into that. Let's take and Pilot Pancho. Don't worry, I'll take a look at yours real quick. Paysafe just got me a little bit excited right now. So Paysafe stock, we can see is sitting at $8.35. I really like it because of that eCash solutions that they're kind of entering and kind of really accelerating in Latin America. I definitely see that being a huge marketplace, especially from families that I know that I live in like Central America and stuff like that. I can definitely see this overall eCash solutions continue to grow. So, and they're making a lot of acquisitions for that. A $6 billion market valuation and trying to become one of the leaders in that eCash solutions, I think it's very great. And then the other part is the iGamification. I think companies like DraftKings are going to continue to do pretty well. So DraftKings is also on my list to add. So for me being kind of bullish in DraftKings and stuff, companies in the iGaming world, it also kind of brings me a little bit bullishness on the overall Paysafe. So super excited for Paysafe right now. It's one that I'm happy right now at these $8, and one I don't mind adding more and more to at these price points. So DraftKings, let's see. Yeah, with FIFA, and that'd be pretty cool, right, Kendall? Obviously, with the football season starting, DraftKings look good. That's definitely good in the short term of things. I'm thinking more in the long term of things. I think there's still Florida, I think, just announced a few weeks ago that they are allowing online betting. Was it Arizona that just in the upcoming weeks is going to start off, and they already approved DraftKings for one of the online sports books, which is pretty interesting. So let's take a quick look at Cohu stock by Pilot Pancho. So Cohu, this is in the semiconductor industry, super small market cap, $1.76 billion. They have a PE ratio of 13.27. We'll have to take a quick look at that. Any other ways to play semiconductors besides AMD, NVIDIA, Intel, Lam Research, Qualcomm, Skyworks Solution, NXP, others? I think those are probably the biggest ones. You can also do, I'm pretty sure you know about it, Pilot, just missed it on this one. Taiwan Semiconductor would be another one. The overall Micron Technology, I'm not sure if you posted that one. Micron Technology would be another one. to play that market as well. Then another, I want to say, maybe not a too interesting way, would probably be some of the creators of these supercomputers, like HPE. But that's pretty interesting. I think those are probably some of the biggest players right now, Pilot, the semiconductors. Maybe you can also go a little bit, and I normally don't do this, and this is not my style, Pilot, but maybe some of the materials, right? Or gold, copper, or whatever other types of materials are used to kind of create ASML, Greystone, thank you. Some of these other materials, some people like doing that. I personally, not my overall investment style, so I don't normally invest in materials. But that's another way that some people like to go about. Recently closed out my MU, first time taking a loss on my long-term portfolio. Oh, damn, Danny, what may I ask, why'd you end up closing? I know there are talks right now of the overall memory prices kind of going down. But what really drove you to there? So Cohu, I want to see what really happens. How long do these live streams usually last? This is my first time. I'm usually about 30 to an hour, Juno. It depends on how much work I have afterwards. I think I still have about 20 minutes on here, Juno, for sure. So Cohu, the only company with expertise on the entire test, cell, and inspection. So Cohu offers the broadest portfolio of equipment and services for back-end semiconductor semi manufacturing, including one-stop shop for test and handling equipment, thermal subsysting, testing, contacting, vision inspection, and metrology and MEMS and test solutions. So this is another company that's dealing with the overall testing of products and the overall inspection. So this is definitely a company you would want to be in if you want to kind of just, hey, maybe don't focus on the ones providing the true chips, but this is definitely a market that, hey, anybody who, it doesn't matter who's the winner, AMD, Intel, NVIDIA, they need to test out their products. They need to make sure that everything is kind of working well. So they provide these types of tests. So overall, a good market in my opinion. Let me see. I want to take a quick look at their investors presentation. Let me see, investors relations, and let's take a press release. Thanks, I'm in all of those. Not the material, ASML2. After being introduced to semiconductors, I missed it. Oh, okay, Danny, that's definitely a great reason. Low conviction on a company, I do want to say is great to kind of remove and put into something else that you feel more confident in. Have you heard the rumors of SoFi getting a bank charter? Have not heard that rumor, Kendall. But let's take a quick look at press release for this one. So Cohu, they did announce their reports on August 2021. They also announced a $100 million repayment recently. So Cohu, total revenue was up to 70% compared to the same time last year. Their gross margins are actually pretty high at 42.8%. Gross and non-GAAP at 42.7%. Complete sale of PCB, printed circuit board test business. Okay, so they kind of sold out of that business. I think that's actually pretty interesting. The printed circuit board business, I want to say, is maybe not the biggest player out right now. So I'm happy. That seems an interesting play that they kind of sold out of that business. And they prepaid $100 million of term loan. Let's see. They also introduced DI Core, which is a data analytics platform. So interesting for sure. This company is profitable. If we take a look, incomes per share is about $1.92. They had net sales. This is interesting. Net sales of $244 million, and they had about $95 million in total net income. So pretty profitable. I want to actually take a look at non-GAAP basis. So if we take a look at non-GAAP results, I actually like this a little bit more. Non-GAAP results were actually $44 million. So their net income margins are a little bit weaker, but that's a lot stronger compared to same time last year. Same time last year was 7.1. And compared to 6 months of 2021 compared to 6 months of 2020, this is definitely a growth story for sure. So I want to say the first thing, let's take a look at Simply Wall Street. So Simply Wall Street, let's take a quick look at Cohu. It should be updated. So Cohu, future growth. This company, I mean, they are expected to grow 1.7% on average for the next 2 to 5 years. I do believe a good portion of that is Pilot is because they just kind of sold out of a portion of their business. And that portion of the business might overall help out with the overall margins So maybe analysts are underestimating Cohu right now. We can see this company is profitable in GAAP earnings. They're also profitable in cash flow from operations. So right off the boat, fundamentals look super, super strong for Cohu. Cohu, in forms of balance sheet, they have $434 million in cash, $217 million in debt. So fundamentally also in a great place. Let's take a quick look at ownership. Ownership right now, I'm gonna guess big boys are already in it. Yeah, institutions already own 90% of this portfolio, with BlackRock and the Vanguard. So the big players already are into this. Fundamentally, it looks pretty interesting. Their earnings don't look half bad either, for sure. And let me take a quick look at Y charts real quick. Let's see if we can see something on Cohu. So let's look at forward price to sales ratio for Cohu Pilot. Fundamentally, I'm liking it. And let's also EV to EBITDA ratio. EV to EBITDA forward. And let's kind of spread them out. Panels per financial metrics. So price to sales ratio is about 2. For this company having that type of margins and having that kind of revenue growth, this valuation does seem a little bit cheap. Their EV to EBITDA forward, if we take a look, but it is more expensive compared to where it's been in the past. At the same time, this company is now, I want to say, it's only now becoming profitable, and it's becoming positive and increasing that cash flow from operations. So it makes sense for valuations to go higher. This is a whole different company compared to where it was at. Their EV to EBITDA ratio, it's kind of sitting at values where it's seen before. So valuations don't seem too bad, Pilot. I just want to do a little bit more research on the company, but in forms of fundamentals and valuation metrics, it doesn't look like a horrible play. It actually looks pretty interesting for sure. And if we take a quick look at technicals right now, I want to say if I was ever bullish in Cohu, now would be the time to really enter. It's not overextended from its short-term and medium-term moving average, a bit overextended from its long-term. This was obviously better buying opportunities. If we get there, that's probably the best time to enter. But right now, it's not at the worst place. So hopefully that helped out a bit. So thanks, I'm in all those names mentioned except the materials. After being introduced to semiconductors on your channel, I've learned they're in everything now in the future. Super bullish, for real. But Pilot, I do want to say, right, just don't, you definitely have some experience on yourself, but remember to also limit your exposure. Semiconductors can definitely kind of fluctuate with certain things around the market. Shortage, for example, pricing, for example, so they could be very cyclical. So just be very careful with overall management of position size. Thanks. Haven't had time to look at it yet. We'll research a bit more and decide later. That helped a lot. Yeah, but overall, so Pilot, when you go do your research, from what I could tell, fundamentals don't look bad, technicals don't look bad, and valuation metrics don't look bad. So now the final question is, hey, is the business doing pretty good, or is the business kind of a market I wouldn't mind being exposed into? Because right now I do have 3 green flags for it. I didn't really see any major yellow flags on the company. I want to say maybe one of the biggest things is the biggest jump it's had since early 2020. But this company is now profitable, now has very strong margins. So it's understandable for that huge price hike. So let's see, Polly, what's going on? Took some hits on muds with Tops Tobacco and go out of TDAC. I'm not sure what TDAC is. Here are my current plays and entry price Skillz. Skillz at $10.90, nice. Disney at $181, nice. I do like those two at those prices too. SRNG, not one familiar with. I'm guessing it's a pre-SPAC company, but best of luck, Polly. I will sell out of Disney and Skillz before merger of SRNG to ticker, and you're gonna move it to there, Polly. Those are some impressive plays. Best of luck. So let's see what else do we have here. Is there any other stocks you guys want to take a quick look at? I just want to see what's really in the market right now. So Stone is down about 3%. Tencent is down 2.5%. Apps is down 2.5%. The ad tech market, I do want to say, is one that's kind of giving, I want to say, a buying opportunity for those that want to enter that market or bullish in that market. I really like apps at this level. What else do we have down right now? PaySafe is down 0.77. I'm liking, right? If you guys watch my video, PaySafe is one I enjoy at these levels for sure. Then we have Serent. Serent's had a nice rally up on yesterday, on Friday, but it's down a nice amount right now. So let's see what else. Where's Celsius? So Celsius keeps doing amazing. This one is impressive, the amount of returns it has provided right now. So Celsius up 4%. Unity is also almost hitting $130. C Limited is at 3% right now. Twilio is up 2%. Spotify up 2%. I'm really excited. So, Chintan, what's going on? Do you think Baba is investable at this price points like 160? So, I mean, I don't follow Baba too much. I do want to say, I mean, it's sitting at very attractive levels right now. Any newer stocks you're looking into? So Kendall, I do mention the stocks I'm looking into in my last video. I did that yesterday. So the only ones are PaySafe right now, Spotify, what else did I mention? Disney and Tesla. Those are the four I'm looking for this week. Any newer kind of popular stocks? I think my newest one will probably be PaySafe. But I don't think I'm looking at anything else. Sometimes, Kendall, it's better to just look at the positions you already have and continue to add to some of those instead of just trying to find the next big winner, right? So, for example, Unity, NVIDIA, old companies, NVIDIA, AMD, old companies have provided great returns for me. So, Baba, I mean, right now, Chintan, definitely, I want to say attractive levels where it's at right now. A lot of volatility in this market. Those usually attractive levels come when there's high risk to it. So that's what you're getting with Baba right now, right? Attractive levels, but there's the risk, the uncertainties of the volatility in the market. Obviously, prices can continue to go down from where it's at right now. So those are probably my overall thoughts on it. Let's see. What's going on? Anybody know why why some of these players are up right now? Like, why is Unity up 3.7%? Let's take a look. Unity stock real quick. All right, so just because. So I got 150 in PaySafe. I'm getting my long-term positions built in 150 shares. That's actually a nice, Kendall. Continue built at this level. So yeah, I'm trying to, Kendall. I don't remember how much I have on it. Thank you. Wish everyone a safe ride on their rocket ship. Yep, Unity is that rocket ship for me today. Look at this. This is insane. So is there any recent news on Unity? Let's take a look at fidelity.com. Let me just take a quick look. Let's see how our news looking. But my overall internet is Kathy Wood is buying more. Is she, Gray? Man, I'm pretty sure they just watch my channel. They just watch my live streams and buy whatever I buy. It's the only possible. Gotta go, Pilot. Thanks, appreciate. I'm in transit tomorrow. Take care, Pilot. Best of luck on your travels, and thanks for the support. Oh man. So let me take a quick look at Unity. Let's see if there's any recent news happening on the market right now for Unity. More news and events. It doesn't seem like there's anything happening. Unity to acquire, this is August 24th, OTO for safer gaming environments. That was one I'm not too familiar with, but interesting for sure. Oh man, just built. What's your favorite long-term position? I think NVIDIA. Actually, I don't even have to think. NVIDIA is probably it's definitely my favorite long-term position at the moment. How about yours, Greg, if I may ask? Greg, so it would probably be NVIDIA followed by Unity. Unity and C Limited are probably tied. NVIDIA, Unity, and C Limited, then Cerence, then probably AMD. Those are my top 5 favorite positions. Also my top 5 positions in my portfolio. But let me zoom in. Let's see, anything else kind of crazy in the market right now. So Affirm is still up 41.2% after that Amazon news. Pretty interesting for sure. I definitely, like I mentioned earlier, I don't have a position. NVIDIA CU. Nice. Bill, main. What are some of your guys' long-term positions, Bill, is that your top 3 or just your top 3 from those that I mentioned? If not, let me know some of your top 3. So what else do we have? ASTR. I'm not familiar with Astrospace. What is Astrospace and why is it down 20% today? Pretty interesting for sure. Market is definitely insane, right? We have some crazy days. Lucid Group is down 4.7. This is the EV company, right? The Lucid Cloud type style. But let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see in Finviz. Bill, your top 3, NVIDIA, AMD, and Apple. Very interesting place for sure. It's weird. I mean, Apple is definitely a great company. I just don't know why it hasn't ever entered my... I think it has, but why I don't have it as a long-term position in my portfolio. I think maybe because I have too many big players like Microsoft. I have Google. I have Facebook. So sometimes I'm like, maybe I can skip out on Apple. Love the pick. Hold a good percent in my portfolio. Love Square. Do you hold any apart from those two? Love Google, Amazon. I bought some Baba in the recent slaughter. Fundamentals are good. So nice. Yes, I do have Square. Square is definitely in my portfolio for sure. For those two, apart from those two, Google, I'm also a big fan of Google. Amazon, I'm a fan of Amazon, but I don't have Amazon in my portfolio, Greg. You bought some Baba in the recent slaughter. Fundamentals too good. Nice, Greg. Best of luck on that Baba play. For me, in the China exposure, I have more Tencent and JD. Not much of a Baba player here. Not any negative stuff, but on board. But not any negative, but just not into. I'm not sure why I'm not into Baba. So Kendo, you have Square, Apple, Maps. Which one is Maps? I don't think I'm too familiar with Maps. Map stock. WM Technology. This is interesting for sure. Now, if it's in your top 3, Kendo, I'm gonna have to look at this. EA Games for sure. EA Games is one that's definitely expanding in the overall gaming market, especially the mobile game market. So Maps, it seems interesting. I'm gonna have to do some research on that one. Indie stock. I don't think I've heard of this one too much. Indie Semiconductors, in the semiconductor industry. So pretty interesting for sure, Kendo. I appreciate those two new in adding to me. I'm gonna have PaySafe take in these plays at this rate though. Okay, nice. Greystone, Google, Facebook, and NVIDIA. I really like those plays for sure. Adida, can I hear your bullish case for Unity? I bought at 140 and didn't add more when it dropped because I didn't have enough conviction on the stock. So my overall bullish case for Unity, I mean, Unity, I think right now, the overall gaming market is going to continue to grow, especially the mobile gaming market, as we kind of expand into like Latin America. The growth in gaming, especially mobile gaming for Latin America, is huge. Also for Southeast Asia. So first, Unity from its main component right now is that portion, the gaming. First bullish case. The second case is Unity is working on a lot of real-time 3D simulations. Real-time simulations is something that's used in a lot of I want to say in a lot of outside gaming companies. For example, in the manufacturing world, in the automation world. So I do believe the huge growth for Unity is out there. The AR market and the VR market, they're huge players in those with great services. So I've done plenty of videos on it, Adia. My apologies if I'm butchering the name. But Unity right now, I do want to say it's in my portfolio. I ended up purchasing a good portion below $100. I do believe my overall price points is below $100. Right now, if I was to enter into Unity, it'll be a small position just because I believe it's a bit overextended. Doesn't mean the stock price can't continue to go up. Obviously, prices and volatility can continue to go up. I just believe the risk of a pull down is a lot higher. That doesn't mean a pull down is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in this market. I just think the chances of it kind of pulling down and giving some better buying opportunities is out there for Unity right now. So Polly, Lucid Motor is hitting the teens, starting looking juicy. Just need to deliver their cars. Have they not delivered the cars? What's going on, Fizz? Hey Jose, did you see the news on China's restriction game time again? For those under 18. Fizz, is that just a refresh of news? Is someone just refreshing the news right now? Or is that just constant new news coming out for it? Mobile gaming Skillz, Poly. For sure. I mean, for sure. I think there's in the mobile gaming, there are definitely better plays out there. Like Unity, C Limited, Activision, EA Games. To really hit that mobile market. And then finding companies that deal with ad tech in the mobile world. I think even though we're still, the phone revolution has kind of already peaked, I do believe, many say have peaked, I still believe there's still growth in a lot of applications. Been holding Affirm for a while, Greg. Glad to be rewarded. Thoughts on Teladoc, if any? So, Greg, congratulations on those holdings from Affirm. That has definitely been pretty interesting. Teladoc, I want to say I have a small position on it, Greg, super small, but no thoughts on it. I haven't really done any research on it in the past few months. That's why it has maintained to be a very small position in my portfolio. So Kendo, Indie makes EV semiconductors, but they are in growth stages right now and are flush with cash from a SPAC deal. I've been upping my position anytime it gets in their mid-8s. Long-term upside is huge. Kendo, appreciate that knowledge. I definitely want to take a quick look at that. Greg got a huge question about Skillz management going forward. Did not enjoy their recent earnings. So okay, what didn't you enjoy about? I mean, yeah. So Greg, for me, Skillz, it's in my portfolio. This is what I call a speculative play on Skillz. This is one that I don't like where the company is at right now. It's more where this company can go in the future. At the same time, I understand it's a high speculative play, so it's a very small position in my portfolio. Paulie, no car have been delivered yet. There was a pic with the CEO holding a 4. Many suspect it's 4-quarter delivery, or is it September 4th? I wonder if that's interesting. But that's pretty. Why can't they just be a little bit more insightful? Unity is a good advertisement play too. Yes, Fizz, and that's one that many people don't know. Unity is good with their advertising play. They've also managed this whole kind of Apple ad advertisement. I forget what it's called. The kind of affecting the advertising market a bit. Unity says they were kind of really. They kind of had this pre-planned already, and the way they collect data, it hasn't really affected them too much. And that's why they had kind of reported strong earnings. So the advertisement is one I always forget to talk about Unity, but definitely a good one to mention. They seem to be ahead of the curve there, and they made great moves even with this kind of Apple change with their advertisement, with their user collection data. I forget what it's actually called. IAC. I forget what is the actual sense. So Al, do you think? Billman, my position is highly risky, adding some Apple to balance the risk. Also, is a bet for Apple Car. Nice, Bill. And that's pretty good. I mean, right. Everybody needs to understand what they feel comfortable with. Sometimes you see, hey, my portfolio is a little bit too growth exposed. Maybe time for me to buy some of these bigger plays like Apple, like Microsoft, like Google, to kind of reduce that risk from that growth volatility. So great move in my opinion, Bill. So Al, do you think Zynga has a potential of high growth? So I don't follow Zynga too much, Al. What I do want to say is a lot of gaming companies are being acquired, especially some of these small players with less than 10 billion valuation. If Zynga falls around that price point, I could see some big players kind of just acquiring them. I do believe in the next year or so, we're going to see a huge movement in companies acquiring other companies. And I feel like we're seeing that already. And I do believe that's going to continue for the next year or so. So Philip, do I have GSAT stocks? No, I do not. That's the one that's up right now on Apple News, right? Polly, thanks for I agree, Polly. Kendall did share some great news. So 3 billion end users from Unity, great advertisement opportunity for sure. It's definitely a great move. I wonder how they would move. I mean, right now I'm pretty sure their advertisement fits, and maybe you can bounce off some ideas with me. But right now their advertisement is pretty strong for the gaming world. But I wonder how once they kind of really grow into the outside the gaming world, into more into other markets, how would that advertisement really grow from there, or how would they kind of use that advertisement opportunity? So let's see, what else do you guys want to talk about today? Unity up 3.04%, Tencent up 3.7%. I consider redistribute some profits to end of week puts. Okay. Best of luck, Bill. Normally I don't play puts. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Definitely a great way to kind of get kind of control your risk tolerance to some extent. So Bill, man, best of luck. Hopefully those puts don't end up too much though. So Philip, you're holding GSAT long term. I think it will skyrocket if Apple and Globalstar confirms the rumors. So right now it's just rumors, huh, Philip? I kind of took a quick glance at the news. But right now, if it's just rumors, yeah, I agree. If the news get confirmed, that's a whole different situation. But it depends on how much they share on those confirmation news. So Fizz, maybe most of their users are within games because that's where the users are. They also provide great analytics for their advertisement. Most of their ads are, yes. So obviously, yeah, right now, so right, that's where I agree, right? Most of their ads are within games. So they're able to really advertise within the games. Because most game players of one type of game, let's say you're playing an RPG game, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how where you live. If you're playing an RPG game, the chances of you playing another RPG game are very high, right? So it's very easy to kind of advertise within users of a gaming applications. But once they start to move outside that kind of market, I wonder how they will kind of integrate that with their advertising market. Bill Main, do you think the recent bull run is a bit crazy? Seems everything's up big. Yep, agree, Bill. Every time my portfolio reaches an all-time high, which it really recently has, I believe the market will pull down. And so obviously volatility is what's happening in the market. I mean, when I see Unity up 3% today, right, we have what's going on with C Limited. Run makes sense. Why does it make sense, Fizz? What's going on with C Limited? Feel free to share what I don't know right now. But when I see days like today where it's not, I don't really know what's driving Celsius. I really don't know what's driving Unity. What's driving some of these stock prices to be up 2% today. It just shows me, hey, the risk of a pull down is a bit higher. It doesn't mean it's a guaranteed. It just tells me, Jose, just when you're buying something right now, make sure not to go too heavy at these levels. But let's see, maybe let's take a quick look at C Limited. Let's see. C runs. I know they announced their new game. They're not their Free Fire Max, which is just a higher resolution of their previous game. So Shopee dips toes in India e-commerce market with seller recruitment campaign. That's actually pretty interesting. Singapore Shopee changes the name in Brazil's e-commerce segment. That's actually also interesting. I'm liking how they're separating this. So this is actually interesting as well. Singapore Shopee changes the game in Brazil's e-commerce segment. And what else? And recently, they also just announced a small high resolution C Fire Max, I believe. Free Fire, Garena Free Fire Max. The Garena Free Fire Max pre-registration. Check release date, APK. So this is pretty interesting. Garena Free Fire best server. So they're making, this is insane. They're making this a higher resolution game. So interesting for sure. C Limited. Now I feel like I want to do a C Limited episode today. Free Fire Max is coming out. Look, I mean, it looks like a true beauty for sure. So are those the main things happening for it, Fizz? Anything else you might have seen for C Limited? So anyways, I hope everybody's having a good day. And hopefully you guys checked out I just sold some cover calls, add some leap calls and buy puts. Nice, Bill. So it definitely seems, Bill, if I may ask, how much of your positions portfolio is actual stocks and how much of it is options? Can you break down EDR stocks financials? I want to get in because I believe in the UFC's growth. So first, Kendall, why UFC as in the sport? UFC. Let's take a quick look at their financials, Kendall. So EDR. Is it this one? Endeavor Group Holdings? Endeavor. They operate as an entertainment sports. The Indian news is massive, super competitive region, but they use Free Fire and their influence programs. Yeah, so Fizz, I think that's the greatest move, and one of my biggest bullish case about how C Limited grows. Right, they kind of release their games. Once they release their games onto these countries and they see strong growth, now they start promoting. So for all those people that have Free Fire, they're going to start in India. They're going to be like, hey, if you download the Shopee app or whatever it's going to be called in India, if you download the app and you link it to your Free Fire account, you will get a free skin, or you will get some form of loot box, or you'll get something. So the overall way that C Limited kind of grabs users, in my opinion, is the smartest. That's why I do believe C Limited has a higher chance of succeeding compared to some of these other e-commerce companies. Wow, 150% stock, 50% options. So you're nicely leveraged, Bill, man. So best of luck out there to you. So let's take a quick look. EDR. So future growth. This company is expected to grow 10% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So there's high growth behind, not high growth, but decent growth behind it. I do want to say right off the bat, the company is not profitable and they're not positive in cash flow from operations. I wonder if the COVID situation might have impacted them a bit because they were positive in cash flow from operations in the past. Very low margins still. So a few yellow flags right off the bat. I want to say Kendo are not profitable, not positive in cash flow from operations. Again, it could have been impacted by the overall COVID situation. If we take a look at its balance sheet, a lot of debt, $5.4 billion in debt, and about $900 million in cash and short-term investments. So I want to say they are a bit leveraged, right? The best thing to find out, and I can't do this in this episode right now because it'll take too long, is try to get that debt and see when is it due. If it's due next year, then that's a bit scary. If it's due 5 years from now, not as scary. Long-term and other assets, I'm pretty sure right here they have a lot of the value of their names and stuff like that, intangible assets. But overall, their balance sheet also not the worst. I mean, not the greatest. A few yellow flags, especially with it being leveraged. So I'm not liking it, if I may be honest. In forms of where the company is at right now. The final thing I might want to take a quick look at is just the overall ownership. Maybe there might be some green flags right now. Institutions own 39%. Venture capitals and private equity firms own 35%. That's pretty interesting for sure. General public owns a small portion right now. Silver Lake Management owns a big portion. I wonder who are some of their other investments. But Kendall, this is definitely, I want to say, a riskier play in forms of where the fundamentals is at. At the same time, I don't know too much about the company. I'm just looking at the overall fundamentals. Stock price, I'm hoping reflect that, and yes, they have, right? The stock price has definitely kind of pulled down a nice amount. So it kind of matches with kind of the how fundamentals have kind of been deteriorating in the past. So if you see growth in that company, I mean, definitely, I want to say this is definitely a risky play, in my opinion. Doesn't mean it's not a company that can do great. Not something I personally would own in form of fundamentals, and those fundamentals don't give me a reason to continue to look more into the company. So guys, that's it for today's episode. I think it was about a 50-minute stream. I appreciate everybody who came out to support. Definitely appreciate it. Hope everybody had a good weekend for sure. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time. Thanks for the support, Danny. Thanks for the support, Fizz. Thank you for the support, being a member. What else? Who else do we have here? I know Pilot Pancho left, but he was here. So Pilot, thank you for being a member. Let's see who else. Ed, I'm pretty sure Ed, he usually listens, and I know he can't with his main YouTube account. But Gordon, thank you. Ed, thank you. Thank you guys for being supportive with the channel. Appreciate it so much. Take care, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right.